In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies. We'll be looking for any wheat cents from 1958 or older, and we'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors or varieties, or any other cool things that we can find. We do have a couple lenders in the first box. Right here, we have a 1948 Philadelphia wheat cent, and then right here, we have something I don't see too often, 1951 King George VI Canadian cent. So I'm excited to get into this first box. Hopefully, it has some other good finds. And let's start the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Just opened the first roll, and we're already going to have our first find because I see the edge of a Canadian cent. It's going to be the first foreign of the hunt. And this one's a bird cent. It's a commemorative 100-year, 1867 through 1967. This one's in pretty good shape too. These are pretty cool to find, and that's a great way to start the box. Roll 4, and I see the edges of 2 more Canadian cents, so we're going to have up to 3 foreigns now, all from Canada. This one is a 1970. And then this one back here is a 1977. I'm still on roll number 4, and I just uncovered something insane. That is a 1909 first-year wheat cent, and it looks like it's in good shape. I've only found one 1909 ever before I started the channel, and it was worn out, but this one is in great condition. Oh my gosh. I'm guessing it's going to be a VDB because a lot of VDBs were saved. Let's see if it is. It is. Oh my gosh. Beautiful 1909 VDB found in a bankroll. Oh my gosh. That is an insane find. Next roll, and we have wheat penny number 2 because our first wheat penny was that absolutely gorgeous 1909 VDB, my first one ever. And this one is a 1940 from Denver. Roll number 8, and I just uncovered wheat cent 3 of the hunt right here, and it is a 1950 from San Francisco. Next roll, and just open the roll, and we're going to have another wheat cent. It's going to be wheat cent number 4 of the hunt, one away from being an ender, a 1952 Denver. Just opened roll 11, and I see the edge of the 5th wheat cent of the box right here, and it's going to be a 1954 San Francisco. Just open the next roll, roll 12, and I see the edge of another foreign. It's going to be another Canadian, number 4 of the box. And this one's a 1964, which means it's going to be a young head. Row 13, and I just uncovered just an oddity. I've never found something like this before in pennies. It's a 1973, and it looks like it's plated with some sort of aluminum or silver or something. I weighed it. It's only 3.11 grams, so it's nothing in air or anything. It's just some sort of plated penny. Thought it was kind of cool. Cool miscellaneous find. Roll 18, and I just uncovered another wheat cent at the beginning of the roll. And this one is a 56 Denver. Just opened roll 20, and I see the edge of Canadian cent number 5 of the hunt. And it is a 1972. Roll 21, just opened the roll, and I see the edge of Canadian cent number 6, and unlike the others, it looks like it's going to be newer. And it is, and it's from 2006. Roll 23, and I see the edge of yet another Canadian cent. This one looks like it's going to be another newer one. And it is a 2003. Just open the next roll, roll 24, and I see the edge of another wheat cent right here. It's wheat cent number 7 of the hunt, and it is a 1944 Denver. Roll 27, and we're going to have a couple of wheat cents in a roll because I see a reverse right there. And second coin in the roll, I see the date, which is a 1953 Denver. Then that reverse facing one is a 1958 Denver. Roll 30, and I'm not too sure how I missed the edge, but we have another wheat cent. And it is another 1958 Denver. And next roll is the 1948 wheat cent under, so we'll open that roll, see if there's anything else with it. Just opened roll 31, which was the wheat cent under. Don't see anything else as of now, but the ender was the 1948 from Philly. Just opened roll 35, and I see the edge of yet another Canadian cent, and it's right here. And it is a 1966. Roll 36, and I just uncovered 2 wheat cents right next to each other. both uppers facing, a 1946 and a 1952 Denver. Then the next roll is the King George VI Canadian Ender, so I'll bring you back with that roll. Just open that King George Canadian Ender, and we're going to have a couple other finds in the roll. Take out the Ender first, and it is a 1951 King George VI Canadian. Don't find these every box. It's been probably 5 to 10 boxes since my last one, so that's a great find. And I also see another Canadian in the back of the roll. This one much newer, and this one is a 1974. And I see the back of a wheat cent right here as well. This wheat cent is a 1956 Denver. Next roll, and I just uncovered yet another wheat cent. This one is a 1958 out of Philly. Roll 42, and we're going to have another Canadian cent near the back of the roll, right here, and it's from 1982. Just opened roll 43, and one away from being an ender, we have another wheat cent. And this one is a 1953 Denver. Roll 48, just opened the roll, and I see a couple more Canadian cents. Pull this one out first, and this one is a 1971. Then I see one near the back of the roll, it looks a little newer, and it is a 2001. Next roll, roll 49, second coin in the roll is a wheat cent, and it is a 1944 from Denver. Last roll of the first box, and I see the edge of yet another Canadian cent right here, and this one is a 1981. That was all for box number 1, and it was an epic box. We ended up with 14 Canadians and 17 wheats, and of course, the best find being that 1909 VDB in great shape. My first VDB cent ever found. That's a super cool find. And for copper, we did pretty well. We got about just under half the jar full, which is pretty good. Now let's move on to box number 2. Doubt it can beat box number 1, but hopefully still get some good finds. Roll 6, and we have the first wheat cent of the second box, and it is a 1950 from San Francisco. Roll 11, and we have the second wheat cent of box 2, and it's right in the middle of the roll, right here. And it looks a little worn, probably 40s or earlier, and it is from the 40s, a 1945 Denver. Just opened roll 14, and I see the edge of the third wheat cent for box number 2, right here. And this one is a 1941 Philly. Next roll, and we finally have the first 4 in a box number 2, and of course it's going to be a Canadian cent, and it is a 1969. Same roll, just a few coins in, we have another wheat cent, and it is a 1953 Philly. Roll 17, and I guess I missed the edge, but we have another wheat cent in this roll, and it is another 1952 Denver. Roll 19, and we're going to have another foreign for box number 2. I see the edge of a Canadian cent right here. And this one is a 1989. Roll 22, just open the roll, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent right here. And this one is a 1946 Denver in decent shape. Next roll, and we have yet another wheat cent. It's a little beat up, but it is a 1942 Denver. Roll 26, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent. Good to see that this box has a lot of wheat cents like the last one. And this one is another 56 Denver. Roll 30, and we have another wheat cent. Just uncovered it, and it is our first from the 30s. It's a 1939 out of Philly. Great to see another wheat cent pre-40s. Same roll, and we have another wheat cent just a few coins later. This one is a 1944 from Denver. Just open the next roll, and I see the edge of another Canadian cent, and it is right here. Looks a little corroded, but it is. Oh, that's pretty beat up. Looks like it's a 2000, I believe. Once again, next roll, and this time we have another wheat cent. Popped out perfectly right there in the back of the roll. And this one is a 47 Denver. Roll 33, and we have yet another wheat cent. This one is a 1952 out of Denver. Looks like it might be cleaned, but still, it's another wheat cent find. Roll 46, and it kind of flew out the back of the roll, but we have another wheat cent. This one is a 1955 Denver. Roll 47, just uncovered, yet another wheat cent. This one is another 1958D. Last roll, and we're going to end the hunt on a high note because we have another wheat cent. And this one is a 1956 from Philly. Now let's go on to the wrap-up. Both boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 7 1959s, 26 Espens, and 40 2009s, including a lot of these uncirculated 2009D professional lights, so I think we got part of an uncirculated roll or something, which is pretty interesting. Foreigns, we got 17. All of them were Canadian. Newest was 2006, and we did get a 1967 Birdseye Commemorative, 1964 Younghead, and that 1951 King George, which was an ender in box 1. We also got this out of box 1, this odd plated 1973. Not sure what it's plated with, just an oddity, interesting to set aside. Wheat cents, we ended up with 32, mostly in the 40s and 50s, except for the 1939 box 2 and the best find of the hunt, which I'll get to. Copper, we got about 4/5 of the jar full, so about 80%. Did pretty well. And of course, the find of the hunt. One of the first finds of the first box. 1909 VDB. My first ever VDB found in circulation, and it's in beautiful shape. Probably in XF or AU condition. A lot of these are saved, so this is probably right out of someone's collection. Probably worth about $15 or something. That is a super cool find. Who knows how many are still in circulation. And overall, this was an awesome, amazing penny hunt.